Okay, hello. My name is Chidumebi, and this right here is my project. And the project is basically a number guessing game, and the game just basically prints a random number. Then it takes the user's input and check if it matches the numbers, and it responds accordingly. So basically, the details of the project and the reason why I made this project is because of my love for puzzles and game, and I wanted to create a project that is related to my interest in puzzles and games. And it was also inspired by the basic calculator project sample that was posted on Moodle. I took a look at it and I really wanted to make something that is kind of similar to that, but at the same time not too similar, like in the sense of making another projects about a calculator. So I joined all these factors and decided to make a number guessing game. And at first I was kind of worried that it was going to be too simple, so I decided to add some more implementations and features into the game. So basically, the features of the project that I decided to add is that this project prints a random number, then it takes the user input and it checks if it matches. And if it matches, it prints out a success message and also prints out the number of attempts. And then it prompts the user, like basically ask the user if they want to play again. And one thing is that if the number does not matches, if the number does not match, sorry, is going to, like, the program checks if the user input is less than or greater than the random number that was printed. And if it is less than the random number, then it's going to tell the user to go higher. But if it's greater than the random number, it's going to tell the user to go lower. And that way the user can know which way to guess. And another feature that I added was that after 10 attempts, basically after 10 user attempts, the program prints a hint to the user that that instructs them on the best strategy to guess the random number that has been printed to that has basically been printed by the program. And after 35 attempts, the program basically exits. Like, it's basically, it doesn't really exit, but like it gives a game over. It prints a game over message, and it also prompts the user if they want to try again. Like, this way, I decided to add this feature so that the user doesn't like repeatedly guess and guess and guess and guess. Like, I needed to add something that is basically going to tell the user when the game is over, and if they want to continue guessing, that is up to them, and if they don't want to continue guessing, they can end the game. Okay, so with all that said and done, I am going to show just a simple demonstration of the project, and hopefully I will be able to show the features with the time I have. So right here in the project is these are all the data sections where all the messages and the instructions go. And in the main section, I don't know why I printed this here, but in the main section we have the main game loop. This I added this game loop basically for the option for the user to try again or play again after they have guessed the right number. And right in the game loop, it starts with an intro message. So in the intro message, this is basically like the introduction to the game. I just wanted to add something so that it doesn't feel so abrupt if the user start playing the game and it just says put your number. So I just added in like a simple introduction to the game. And after the intro message, this is where the random number is generated. And right here, I had to do research on the syscall to generate random numbers. And this actually gave me some issues, which I will go into later after the demonstration. All these commented areas, this was where I debugged the code when I was having some issues. And this is where the code, right here is the user inputs loop. And this is where I take the user input and where all the logics of matching the random number happens. So it basically takes the user inputs right here. But before that, this is where the attempt stored, and this is where the logic for the hint message and the game over message is also stored with the attempt. So after it gets the user inputs, this is the logic for the matching the random number and checking if the user input is higher or lower than the random number. And after everything, this is where I printed out all the messages that would be printed based on the logic of, like, based on the game. So right here is the success message. This is the game over message, and this is the go lower or go higher message, and this right here is the hint message, and this is the end game message, or basically the end game syscall. So I'm going to just quickly demonstrate this game right now. Okay, so for a quick demonstration of the game, I'm just going to run it, assemble, and I am going to just run the game. Okay, so in the inputs output, let me just see if I can make this bigger. Okay, I can make it bigger. Okay, so this is the introduction to the game, and right here is the prompt message, which basically says input your guess. So I am just going to, the first feature that I'm actually going to show is the hint feature, which basically prints a hint message after the user has failed 10 times. So I'm just going to say, actually I'm going to show the go higher and go lower feature basically, but yeah, it's still in the same sort of idea. So I'm going to type in 2, and it says try going higher, so I'm just going to type in 3, and it says try going higher, so I'm going to type in a crazy number, let's say 90, and now it says try going lower, so I'm going to type in 2 again, and then I'll keep typing 2 until I get to the attempt limit. So 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and right here. So after 10 attempts, it basically brings a hint, the hint message, and the hint message that I put is one of my favorite strategies for solving guessing games, number guessing game, and it's basically. All right, sorry for the change in microphone. My microphone went wahoo on me, and I had to change it. Okay, let's continue. So right here is the hint, which is basically my favorite strategy for solving number guessing game, which is to increment by 10 until you get to the range you're trying to solve. So if it says 40 and it says go higher, and you input 50 and it says go lower, you will know that the range is in the 40s. So I'm just going to demonstrate that by inputting 10 in the user input, and then just increment it by 10. Sometimes I increment it higher, And as long as it says go higher or go lower, then I would know the range that is in. So I input 50, then I input 70, then I input 80 or 90, and it basically says go lower. So then I know that my number is in the range of the 80s. So I then limit my range to that 80s range, and then I get it with an attempt of 19 and play again. It basically prompts the user to play again, and if the user presses any number that isn't an uppercase Y or an uppercase N, it says invalid command. So this is the way basically catch an error and avoid taking in like a kind of garbage input without regulating it. So with an uppercase N, the game is going to stop. So I'm just going to clear this, and also um, sorry, yeah, I'm just going to reset again, and I will run this program again to show the game over. Okay, so now I'm going to try and fail 35 times. This is going to take a little bit of time, but bear with me. So 2, okay, so right here is the game over attempt. That took a while, and it says sorry, you used up all 35 attempts. Do you want to try again? Y for yes, N for no. And once again, if I print anything other than uppercase Y or N, it says invalid command. But if I print, let's print an uppercase Y, and right here it has looped my game. So I'm just gonna use my strategy for guessing game to just try and guess this quickly. So let's say 40. Okay, go lower. 30. Go lower. Okay, so 20. Oh, I actually get. Okay, so I got it, and yeah. So I'm just gonna stop the code and clear. Yeah, so that is it for the demonstration of the game. And yeah, so I'm just gonna talk about my challenges with this project. The biggest challenge I ever had that actually took a lot of time was keeping track of the register, especially with the lines of code that generated the random number. It was like I had a little mistake that took a long time for me to solve because of how I mixed up the registers, and it took like almost a day to solve that like very tiny mistake. So that was my biggest challenge, and my solution to that was looking at the register, like the register boxes, like the register segments over here, and it was also debugging manually. Like if you look at this commented section over here, this was basically to print out the random number, in which I found out that this was how I basically found out that I was printing 42 as the random number instead of just a random number, because I was using V0 as the register instead of A0 as the register, because that is where the random number is actually being stored at. So that was my solution. And with this project, I learned how to effectively print some random integers, and I'm pretty sure that it helped me understand loops in assembly, because my project has a lot of those loops. And in the future, for this project, I would like to add like a computer, basically a feature that includes the like a computer's turn in the game. So like after the user inputs a number, the computer can input a number, and things like that. And my future goal is to actually make a full game in assembly language, like the Roller Coaster Tycoon by Chris Sawyer. And what I pretty much learned in this course is that I actually like assembly coding. Before doing assembly coding, I used to just see it as some sort of as some sort of strange coding language that I would definitely not be interested in because of how hard it was seen. But I actually pretty enjoyed the process of coding and assembly, even more than C++ and C sharp, which C sharp is my favorite coding language. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you so much for this course and for all the support that you gave in this course. And yeah, thank you.